好的，接下来呢，我们要请到了下一位阶段的讲者了。那么接下来呢，是由 TomTom 的 Douglas，他是 Site Leader of TomTom Taiwan。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Douglas Ayres。他和我们讨论的题目是 ADAS Trend: How Digital Maps Accelerate ADAS Now and in the Future. Floor is yours. Take it away.
All right, thank you. It's a great honor to be here, and really appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak in front of you. I want to thank Jack for allowing this. And so this really is very important for TomTom. It's a way to demonstrate our commitment. To demonstrate our commitment to the MIH Consortium. And I also want to thank everybody that put on this effort. It's a lot of work, and they really organized things very well. So thank you very much. And so today, my name is Douglas Ayres, and I work at TomTom. And I want to talk a little bit about ADAS and how the digital maps accelerate, both for ADAS now and in the future. So I'd like to talk about 4 topics. One is how maps drive driving automation. And then I'd also like to talk about the unified map and map delivery. And so what we have is one map that allows us to be very flexible and to be able to tailor our offering to whatever the OEM needs. And also, we're able to deliver that map in a very sophisticated way. And so we're able to also, again, tailor to whatever the OEM needs to be able to deliver very small parts or the whole map in a very sophisticated and intelligent way. And I'd also like to talk about sensor delivered observation, or SDO, and ADAS, and how we're using this this SDO data to improve our maps and to increase the level of map data that we have. And I'd also like to talk a little bit about ADAS and EV. And this is just a very brief explanation of how ADAS can help solve EV questions and EV problems. I think most of us are familiar with these 6 levels of automated driving. And so for the level 0 is where the driver is completely in control. And then we also go to 4 and 5, where this automated driving and where the user has, or the driver has no control. And if we look at where is the main area that TomTom is focusing, it's in level 2, because this is where we feel like we have the most ability to make the biggest impact. And this is where really the technology is at this moment. And if we go, what is the role of maps in automated driving? And so what maps do is to help the vehicle know where it is at all times, to perceive, what is around me. And then it's about localization. Where am I right now? So by using different points of reference, I'm able to very clearly just state where I am. And that, combined with sensor data, makes localization possible down to the centimeter level. And then it's also about path planning. Where am I going, and how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there in the most comfortable and safe manner? And so that's the 3 areas that maps help and augment SDO data, the data that we receive from the instruments. And if we look at, this is our unified map vision. And so you can see, and our vision is, and a lot of this has already been accomplished. So it's much of this map is already done. A lot of the things that I'm talking about are already reality at TomTom. And so our vision is one seamless, upgradable map. And so you can see that there's 8 different layers on this map. And so we also combine this with the service to be able to update these maps in different parts of the data. And so if an OEM, for example, needs ADAS maps to be updated very frequently because they're trying to meet the European ISO requirements, we're able to update that. But maybe they have a different map, a different layer that they need, and they may only want to do that very rarely, like once a year. So, and we're also able to determine where, in what, how to say it, when and where the map data should be updated. And the tool that we use is called AutoStream. And this allows for a single map delivery. And map streaming is able to route, it's able to use, determine your path. It's able to then intelligently update that along that path, or it's able to look at your most probable path and says, okay, this driver is driving along this route, and I need to conserve bandwidth, I need to conserve cellular data, so I'm going to download these parts, and it's totally configurable by the OEM. So if the OEM has very tight bandwidth restrictions, or if a certain region is very expensive, then they may make that much more conservative. And so our tool is able to meet those needs across regions, across different car lines. And so it really gives a solution, a very flexible solution on all these different map layers. And then it's able to it's able also to cache data and and it understands and intelligently decides when the data should be updated. And so how do we do that? So if you look at our automated driving service, so we take traditional survey data that we have for the cars that drive around with all the cameras on top, and then we also take governmental data, and we also have human moderators that look at the data. But to really make an impact is to create this flywheel where we take that SDO data, the camera data, the data feeds that we get from the TV, from the car, and we create a feedback loop. So we take those pictures and we take that data and we compare that to the many cars on the road for that pass that particular location. We're able to say, okay, we know this sign is here, or we know this has changed, and we're able to quickly look at it, analyze it, and then get it back to the car. And so we put it in our map, and then through AutoStream, we put it in the car very quickly. And so always looking at how quickly do changes in reality are updated in our map. And so always pushing ourselves to be able to make sure that we are more quickly and more capably getting that data back into the car and creating that flywheel effect. And so if we look at, this is just one example of how we can improve, how we can use this SDO data to improve our maps. And so if we look at, so we're getting this data and we're improving everything. And what it helps with is to localize that camera data. So by using that camera data and that improved data, we're able to more clearly state where we are. And it also improves lane level guidance and that lateral guidance between where is the car in the lane. It also has a big role in like on and off exit ramps, because a lot of those areas don't have very good markings. So you really couldn't do that without the camera, with only the camera. You really need a map as both a backup and a point of reference. And that's also particularly important in toll stations. So toll stations are complex. They don't have a lot of markings, and so again, to do that with only the camera is not very easy. And then as we use that SDO data, our goal and what we're doing is to get into lower road classes. So it's not just the highway. We're able to take that information, we're able to visualize and improve the maps on stop signs and also other signages on lower road classes. And so one thing that can do is that if you've come off the highway and you're now at a stoplight, and you're able to keep hands-off driving because we know where the stop sign or the traffic light is, but we also know where most cars stop. And so that really improves the level 2 driving experience to lower road classes. And this is just really a small example. It's kind of a simple example. And so we have all this data, ADAS data. And we also have a routing algorithm. So one of the challenges of EV routing is, of course, range anxiety. But also, it's about how to plan a very long route. And if you don't take in to account charging times, charging availability, how many chargers are available, what's the speed of those chargers, you really can't get an accurate estimate or a very good plan on how to get to your destination. And so what we use to augment this online algorithm is also the ADAS data. We're looking at the altitude changes or the gradient, and so that we can more accurately create an estimate of how far this car can drive. And then combined again with all of this other information, we get a much better way to explain and get the driver where they need to be on time and have the best route. Okay, so in summary, TomTom supports our partners in ADAS solution. And we take a unified map solution and we scalable across multiple use cases and vehicle models. And so we're able to take all of this information, all of these maps, and we're able to, the OEM is able to mix and match those solutions and to determine the best solution for what they need. We also have a single map delivery service that incorporates SDO data. So we're always taking that new data, we're always improving, we're always looking at things, we're taking information from the car and the sensors, and we're building a better map. And we're also always looking to see when changes of reality are then updated in the map. So we're always looking at that KPI. And 3, we're leveraging ADAS and sensor data to be able to solve EV challenges and again, improve our map quality. Okay, so I appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of you. MIH is important to TomTom, and this is just a small example of our commitment to MIH, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. So thank you.
Thank you, Douglas.